Hey, have you ever felt truly ambivalent toward the light and the dark? Have you ever been forced to choose between a hot sexy vampire with personal space issues and a hot sexy werewolf with other issues? Well, congratulations! You might be a Twilight Cleric. But what is a Twilight Cleric? Well, let's travel back to a very specific time in the mid-2000s when for some reason we all pretended Stephanie Meyer wasn't complete garbage and bask in the glow of prepubescent edge. Some novels focus on useless things like themes, plots, or character development, but this series decided to focus on parasocial behavior and borderline pedophilia. Wait, sorry. Ugh. I'm being told that the Twilight Cleric is not a cleric to an incredibly cringy fantasy series, but instead to the physical spectrum of light we see when the sun is setting. Oh, shit. Well, there goes this entire script. And I watched those movies for nothing. Well, at least I don't have to talk about incredibly questionable werewolf motives. Yikes. 2008 was a different time, huh? Instead, I get to talk about clerics. Some people love them, some people hate them. Me, I think they're pretty great. Not my absolute favorite, but a flexible class with a lot of spells and some neat lore. Sign me up, baby. The defining characteristic of the cleric is their devotion to a god. They begin their spiritual journey by making an oath to a certain god. Wait, nope, that's paladins. Wait, no, instead they create a pact between them and no, that's warlocks. So clerics just believe? Huh. Like, just believe in anything? Well, kinda. A belief in the goddess of Twilight is great, but a Twilight cleric could also just honor the existence of Twilight itself. Their belief in the sacredness to a thing or ideology is actually what grants them their power. Does this mean that a cleric could believe in themselves?
You're saying some mean things about me, but I believe in myself.
Absolutely. I wish I had that power. So what are the benefits to this belief? Well, a lot, actually. Our Twilight Cleric is a beacon in the dark, granting safety in the night for those who seek it, and our deity, ideology, or otherwise, gives us a lot of cool powers to uphold those values. All clerics who have proven their devotion toward whatever chosen path gain access to spellcasting at level 1 and, more importantly, domain spells. Domain spells are flavorful spells unique to each cleric domain and can be from any school. These spells are also always prepared and do not count against your total, which is just sick. Our Twilight Cleric gets the spells Fairy, Fire, and Sleep, which are not only great at this level, but also play into this Watcher of the Night role the subclass is going for. You also gain proficiency with martial weapons and heavy armor, because as any guy who sells swords at the mall will tell you, the Venn diagram between people who buy cheap katanas and those t-shirts with the wolves on it, well, that's just a circle. We also gain the ability Eyes of the Night. For you, darkness is an old friend.
I was born in it, molded by it.
And as such, you have dark vision up to 300 feet. Now, this would already be neat, but as an action, you can then share this dark vision with any willing creatures you can see within 10 feet of yourself, meaning the ranger standing next to you with the expertise and perception can scout ahead and be useful. Sorry, rangers. Finally, you get Vigilant Blessing. This allows you to grant any creature you touch advantage on their next initiative roll. Woo, baby, that's awesome. Walk over to the assassin in your party and see what magic they can pull off with that shit. This ability lasts for 1 hour and returns on a long wait, right? What? What do you mean there's no time limit? It lasts until they use it. So as long as you re-up it after a fight, potentially every combat you come across, someone in the party is going first. You know we're still level 1, right? No, sorry, I'm not yelling at you. Yes, I know my tone. Okay, I'll be more... Okay. Yeah, Mom, I love you too. Dinner next week? No, I have Twilight Con. Yeah, I know it's been 15 years, but anyway. Level 2 gets us Channel Divinity. All clerics get the ability Turn Undead, making those zombies haul their rotten asses as far away from you as possible, but you also get Twilight Sanctuary. Is this for real? So your cleric does a howl at the moon and surrounds the party with Twilight in a 30-foot radius bubble. Any ally that ends their turn in the bubble gets either 1d6 in temporary hit points, or you can end the effect of a Charm or Frightening. What? Do you guys realize how many creatures in the Monster Manual utilize just the Frightened condition? Mummies, banshees, ghosts, dragons! Just cancelled out by a magic ring that also protects against sea bears. Not only does the entire party potentially have an endless pool of temporary hit points for 10 rounds of combat, you can utilize this with any playstyle. Your heavy armor gives you the protection you will need to run into the fight with your allies and trigger this ability in the thick of it, or hang in the back and act as a healer as they run to you for a boost. Either strategy allows you to drastically change how an encounter plays out, and if that isn't strong, I don't know what is. I almost feel bad for a newer DM who has a player who knows what this subclass can do.
I've had enough of this, Sean.
Imagine you spend a ton of time setting up an encounter with a few scarecrows just for the level 2 Twilight Cleric to nope off their best ability. Also at this level you get the abilities Harness Divine Power, which you probably won't use much, and Cantrip Versatility, which you will definitely forget about. Level 3 gets us 2 more domain spells. Moonbeam is a great spell that essentially sends a laser from space to blast bad guys for you, but it also has the bonus ability to reveal shape-change creatures if they fail the saving throw, which they take at disadvantage. Guess who just bought themselves a space gun / mimic detector for the low price of their unending devotion? You did, baby! Your other spell is See Invisibility, which lets you do exactly what you think, but also see into the ethereal plane. Not sure how often this will come up, but hey, it's never too early to figure out what ghosts are actually doing in their spare time. You don't have to guess, they're playing Clue and eating blueberry cereal. At level 5, you better be alive because your turn undead just became Destroy Undead, making some of those bony boys just explode around you, and you also get 2 more domain spells. Aura of Vitality is usually a spell for 9th level paladins, but you get it here because you're just too darn cool. After casting as an action, you can choose an ally within a 30-foot aura and send them 2d6 healing every round as a bonus action. Some great things about this is that it does stack with the Twilight Sanctuary for 2d6 healing plus 1d6 temporary hit points, but you can also use it out of combat for 20d6 healing you can spread around the party over the course of a minute. So after a rough fight, you can sit everyone down and tell them stories of the world's weirdest baseball game.
My monkey man.
And somehow that makes them feel better? You also get Liamon's Tiny Hut, which again plays into this Night Protector flavor the subclass is going for. It's a neat out-of-combat spell which lets everyone huddle in a bubble and sleep peacefully through the night undisturbed. A little magic fort for you and your friends to play in while mom makes snacks in the house. 6th level gets us another use of Channel Divinity, but who cares about that? We just got Steps of the Night. This ability is absolutely incredible, giving the cleric a non-concentration flying speed for 1 minute as long as they are in dim light or darkness. You can use this ability as a bonus action as many times as your proficiency bonus and regain all uses on a long rest. So yeah, the busted cleric can fly now. And remember, your radius abilities can help your allies on the ground underneath you, allowing you to fly around giving aid while the bad guy struggles to reach you. Again, it's one of those abilities that forces your DM to ask, so, are you waiting for the morning? Hoping they never have to fight you in the shade. Just remember to pull a Batman before you think there might be an encounter and sleep all day so you can party all night. On our way to heaven with level 7 and 2 more domain spells. Aura of Life is cool if a little situational, giving you resistance to necrotic damage and some other minor buffs, but we're here for greater invisibility. This spell is just hands down incredible as it allows you to cast spells and make attacks without breaking the invisibility. But why cast it on yourself when you can hit the rogue with it for permanent sneak attack or give it to a hurt teammate to get them out unharmed? So many amazing uses in one spell, but I'd of course use it to sneak up on a noble that keeps annoying the party and cast Banishment to scare the shit out of them. At level 8 you get Divine Strike and Blessed Strike, which are 2 sides of the same coin. Essentially you can pick whether you'd like to add damage to your box or your blasts. Sorry if that wasn't clear, I wanted the alliteration. It's a D8 to either weapon attacks or cantrips respectively. You're feeling fine at level 9 with our last 2 domain spells. Another one stolen from the Paladin list, Circle of Power, is pretty great, giving everyone in a 30-foot aura advantage on saving throws against magical effects and spells, and also part of the evasion ability. Meaning if they make a saving throw where they should take half damage on a success, they just take none. Incredible spell against AoE type monsters that force plenty of saves, but just an all-around lifesaver for the party. But let's talk about Mislead. This spell is so weird and I love it. For an hour, not only do you become invisible, you manifest a double of yourself in your place. What an amazing amount of uses for this. Sneak into an enemy stronghold using your double as a distraction, have it insult some guards so they come beat it up while you escape from a prison cell, or have it ask out your crush while you hide at home because you're terrified of rejection. No, Mom, she didn't want to go to Twilight Con, okay? Okay, so 10th level is an absolute banger. Essentially, you get to call on the moon or your god or one of those sick t-shirts with the wolves on it and ask for their divine aid. You get 1 chance to do this a day, and to do so, you need to roll lower than your level on a percentile dice. It's a 1 in 10 chance at this level, but then your DM gets to decide what happens. Most likely, they're casting a cleric spell, but it could be something like rebuilding a temple or erasing the memory of a movie franchise that haunts your fucking nightmares. If I'm your DM, I'm casting something like Divine Word or Earthquake for the show, but be specific on what you need and a good DM will facilitate, cause nailing that percentile roll is just pure hype. We don't get another ability for a minute, so in the meantime, hang out and enjoy some of those amazing cleric spells we haven't gotten a chance to talk about, like Planar Ally, Firestorm, or Anti-Magic Field as we work our way up to level 17. Here, our Twilight Sanctuary gets a bonus with the Twilight Shroud. Now anytime we cast it, everyone in the aura gets the effect of half cover, giving you a +2 to AC and Dexterity saving throws. Just another incredible flat buff that benefits the entire party and doesn't require concentration. And that's pretty much our capstone. Level 18 lets us channel Divinity 3 times, and level 20 makes sure our Divine Intervention always succeeds, but as far as Twilight Cleric abilities, we kinda did it. So why is this subclass so dang good? For starters, Clerics are just a good class. A great mix of caster with just the right amount of tank to make sure you can stay in the fight. But the Twilight Cleric may just be the best of those. You're more or less half Paladin, allowing you to take as many hits as you dish out, as well as having a huge assortment of aura buffs to dole out to your group. I love that this also plays into the idea that you sit on the border between night and day, between light and dark. This subclass stays true to its lore as well as being incredibly strong, making it stand out against the wall of subclasses that come with being a cleric. In fact, this subclass is so good, I'd say it's one of the few that would never really benefit from a multiclass, as it just comes with such a complete package. You sling spells, you buff allies, you fight good. What more do you need? So if you think the light versus dark debate is a bit passé, have a penchant for cool t-shirts, and don't mind sharing a name with Stephanie Meyer's affront to literature, guess what? You might be a Twilight Cleric. Hey everyone, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. And please, don't forget to subscribe down below, it really helps me out. Right now the channel is growing okay, but you have no idea how far a like, a comment, or a subscription goes towards pushing us in the algorithm. So do all those things if you can, I'd really appreciate it. And I read most of the comments, so I'm excited as you guys are about a lot of the subclasses coming down the line. So that's all for now, I hope you have an excellent day, and see you in the next one.